Your dog is telling you something every single day, but you're probably missing the most important part. And that's not your fault. Because dogs can't talk to us like humans do. They don't bark when they're in pain. They can't walk to the door and say, "I've been really overwhelmed today." Most of the time they stay quiet. And that silence tells you so much more than you realize. That's exactly why what you're about to learn could change everything. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 behaviors you do out of love, but that get coded very differently in your dog's brain. And let me say this up front. Most of these don't come from bad intentions. They come from love. The intention is good, but for your dog, the result is the same. Research shows that nearly 9 out of 10 dog owners miss the stress signals their dog is giving them. This isn't the exception. This is the norm. 9 out of 10. That's almost everyone. But the most surprising thing is the last item on this list, because that one is the most common and the most misunderstood form of love. If you're ready, let's start decoding your dog's language together. Part 1. Thinking it's fine when you leave them alone. When you leave the house, have you ever stopped to think about what your dog actually does? Most owners assume they sleep, they wait, maybe they play around. Dogs are independent, right? They're usually not as independent as we think. In a 2020 study published in Current Biology, scientists discovered that dogs bond with their owners the same way a baby bonds with its mother. Secure attachment, insecure attachment, separation anxiety, these aren't just human experiences. And here's what most owners miss. Silence can sometimes be a sign of suppressed stress, not peace. Many dogs turn inward instead of acting out, and we mistake that for calmness. Dogs left alone for long periods show signs of anxiety, loss of appetite, excessive sleeping, and excessive licking. These are signs of unhappiness. And when the owner comes home and the dog rushes to them, most people call that an adorable greeting. But that overwhelming excitement can also be a reflection of how intense the waiting was. What you can do before you leave: give your dog a scent-based activity, a frozen K-ong toy, a nosework game, or a piece of your clothing. For dogs, scent is even more powerful than memory. Your smell works like a safety signal for them. As long as your scent is there, they feel you with them, mentally. And you'll see how this connects to the third thing I'm about to share. Part 2. Hugging them. Yes, exactly that. I'm going to tell you something difficult right now. That moment of hugging might feel like love to you, but your dog's brain may be interpreting it very differently. I know, that's a hard truth to accept, because for humans, hugging is the purest expression of love. But in a dog's evolutionary memory, that physical gesture may not mean love. It may mean control. In a 2016 analysis published in Psychology Today, researchers examined the stress signals dogs show during hugging: turning the head away, ears pinned back, showing the whites of their eyes. More than 80% of the dogs studied showed at least one stress signal during a hug. Most owners interpreted this as the dog being cute. Why? Because dogs carry an instinct from their wild ancestors that codes pressure from above as a potential threat. This is a reflex going back thousands of years. For a dog, being physically enclosed from above instinctively restricts their sense of space, and that can be triggering on a primal level. Your dog tolerates it because they love you. But for just a moment, their instinctive system gets activated. What you can do: instead of hugging, crouch down beside your dog. If they lean into you, that contact is their choice. Touch that is chosen by your dog is where real trust begins. If this is making you see your dog in a new way, hit like and subscribe, because that's exactly what this channel is for, so that when your dog speaks, you can actually understand them. Part 3. Making eye contact the wrong way. Do you love looking at your dog? Of course you do. But how you look at them changes everything. Direct, sustained eye contact is a challenge in dog language. Within a pack, when 2 dogs stare at each other for a long time, it signals tension. Usually one of them looks away. That's the dog way of saying, "I'm backing down." But soft eye contact between a truly bonded dog and their owner is something completely different. In a landmark 2015 study published in Science, researchers found that when dogs and their owners gazed softly into each other's eyes, oxytocin levels rose in both of their brains. Oxytocin, that chemical bridge between mother and baby that creates the feeling of "I am safe." So the right kind of gaze deepens your bond without a single word. What you can do when you look into your dog's eyes, gently soften your gaze, then slowly look away. This small ritual says in dog language, "I'm giving you space and I'm right here." Do this regularly, and over time your dog will start looking back at you longer, softer, and with more trust. Part 4. Underestimating routine changes. What feels like a minor change to you can feel like an earthquake in their world. Dogs are creatures of routine. This isn't just habit, it's an evolutionary necessity. In pack life, predictability meant survival, when to hunt, when to rest, where everyone was. When those things became uncertain, the brain shifted into alarm mode, and the dog living in your home today is still running that same old security software. Pushing the morning feeding back by an hour, canceling a walk, even switching which couch cushion you sit on can raise cortisol, the stress hormone, in your dog's brain, and they feel it without knowing why. A 2021 study found that dogs exposed to irregular routines showed significantly more behavioral problems. This is not a coincidence. What you can do: keep your dog's daily routine as consistent as possible. Feeding, walks, sleep. If change is unavoidable, give your dog a small preview. Put the leash on early. Walk toward the door. When the brain gets a small preparation signal, uncertainty gives way to predictability, and stress drops automatically. And the fifth thing I'm about to share will show you why this need for structure isn't just physical. Part 5. Only meeting their physical needs. There's water, there's food, there's a bed, there are walks. So everything's fine, right? If only it were that simple. Dogs are social beings, pack animals. In a pack, existing isn't just about breathing. It's about feeling connected, building bonds, being together, creating meaning. If you take your dog on walks every day, but never really spend time with them, that can create an invisible distance. You're sitting right next to them, but if your attention is somewhere else, they notice. Dogs feel this. Research shows that dogs can detect changes in their owner's stress hormones through scent. So if you're tense, they sense it without needing any words. Because for your dog, your attention, not food, is the most powerful reward. What you can do: just 10 minutes a day. Put your phone down and be fully present with your dog. Look into their eyes. Say their name with warmth. Play with them. That 10 minutes of conscious connection activates the trust circuit in their brain. Part 6. Ignoring them at the wrong moment. Sometimes your dog walks over to you, looks you in the eyes, and just waits. You're busy, you don't notice them, and without getting a response, they quietly walk away. Pay attention to these moments, because dogs are very deliberate about when they choose to connect. If they came to you in that moment, they were feeling something. And if you keep missing those moments, over time they come to you less. They may gradually learn these moments don't get a response. This is how trust erodes. Quietly, invisibly. What you can do: when your dog comes to you, just pause for a moment, extend your hand, say their name, then go back to what you were doing. That 5-second moment of conscious contact sends a signal to their brain: we connected. Because sometimes the deepest bonds are built in the shortest moments. Part 7. Punishing them, especially with a raised voice. You've been waiting for this since the beginning of the video. This is the most surprising one. And I have to say, for some people, hearing this will be genuinely difficult. When your dog did something: chewed a pillow, got into the trash, did you raise your voice? Did you say no in a sharp tone? Most of us have, because in that moment, we didn't know another way. But a 2021 study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that dogs who were regularly scolded developed chronic stress, showed hiding behaviors, and most importantly, lost trust in their owners. Dogs can't make cause and effect connections the way humans do. They dug through the trash 5 minutes ago, and now you're raising your voice. Your dog isn't learning I shouldn't go through the trash. Your dog is learning. This person is unpredictable. I need to be careful. This is how small cracks in the bond begin. What you can do: instead of punishing the wrong behavior, reward the right one. Set boundaries, but don't raise your voice, because trust isn't built through fear. It's built through consistency. Your dog wants to love you. They just don't always know exactly how. And teaching them that is in your hands. The 7 things we talked about today were almost certainly done without any intention of harm. Out of love, out of habit, out of not knowing. If you made it this far, you're no longer part of that 90%. Your dog won't ask you today, "Do you love me?" But in every glance, every time they come to your side, every morning they greet you, they're already giving you the answer. Hear them, because they are speaking, just in a different language. At the end of the day, you are not just a part of their life. You are their entire world. So which of these were you doing without realizing it? Write it in the comments. Maybe someone else will see it too, and something changes for them today.